Spork, you there?
Yep.
All right. Just making sure. We just got stuff set up. Um,
No, just typing.
okay. So guys, welcome. We have a very special treat for you tonight. This is Battle Arena Smackdown Edition, where we have people who donated to the podcast, I think bronze to gold, that are competing against plat and above players. They'll also have someone spectating them to give them feedback and tell them how to improve. So it's kind of like Battle Arena on steroids, in a way. I am Haberdashing and joined by Spork tonight. We are going to be your casters in the main channel. We won't be hearing from any of the guys in the game. That cost extra, and we haven't gotten that figured out so far. So it's just you're going to have to deal with the two of us for now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. If this goes well, we may be looking to improve this and make this like a monthly thing that we do.
That'd be cool.
The other stream looks better. I call bull.
I think our stream is clearly the coolest one.
I mean, I've got a GIF. I've got a custom
GIF.
overlay.
GIF.
No. We're not starting. We're not starting that. We're not starting that.
Feel the rap.
No,
Right there.
no, we're gonna be talking about. Oh my God! No, we're not talking. Fuck, I will. Let's talk about picks and bans instead here. So bans from the side of blue team. This is our blue team is going to be our plat and above team. They're going to be the team to beat. They're banning Sejuani, Hecarim, and Callista, all meta bans that can really impact a game if they're snowballed. Sejuani is just an obvious ban though.
So she's not as strong as she was last patch, but she should still be pretty strong. She's still a strong tank with decent damage and very good initiate.
Yeah, we talked about this on Battle. Like I don't think the changes to her really impact her that much.
Sejuani's good as long as tanks are good.
Yeah.
Basically. As long as she can succeed at being a tank, then the fact that her kit just is a good kit. She's got pretty solid CC, ranged hard engage, that is fairly easy to hit. Easier than Leona. And then you can just sit there being a tank and going all lol up in their face.
Yep. So picks besides that, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of like signature picks from our blue team. As far as purple team goes, we got Leona and Lucian, along with Victor and possibly Jax being locked in.
Or Garen.
Or Garen. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about this is everyone gets to play their main role. So,
yeah.
I mean,
it should make for interesting games.
Yeah, you get a chance to really showcase what you can do in your champion's ability. Like, most of the time I'd see a Garen and think, there's probably better picks. But, if you main that Garen and you know how to play that against a matchup like Riven, it can really work out in your favor.
Garen can certainly make Riven's life miserable, though, because she actually gets wrecked so hard by silences. And his is, I think it's the longest silence left in the game, I think.
The longest silence left since they've taken out so many
They
of
got
them.
rid of a lot of them, and I'm pretty sure his is the longest left. It's like 2.5 seconds.
It's
like,
pretty long in max rank, yeah.
Someone like Riven who's so reliant on being able to just spam Q a lot.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like,
really, really bad for her.
So, I mean, like, this Garen has to realize, like, it is going to be those first levels where he's going to be vulnerable until he maxes out his Q, until he starts to get tankier items.
Yeah. But he can definitely cause problems for Riven later in the game, that's for sure. So I don't mind the pick actually at all. It's kind of Garen, but into Riven is actually a pretty solid pickup.
There's some other problems with Garen when it comes to like being impactful in team fights and stuff like that. But besides that, we got plenty of other things to talk about, including an Udyr ban lock. Not an Udyr ban, an Udyr pick.
That's a pick.
That is a pick. Yeah, sorry, it's so close to the ban champions. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like an actual Udyr player play Udyr.
I'm curious how he's gonna build him.
I mean,
because
if it's a Udyr player, I think it'll probably be more of like the
usually it's like Triforce kind of thing.
Yeah, like the split pusher.
But I'm curious
if
he may take up the SKT Tom thing, where apparently he just goes full tank Udyr.
Yeah, I mean, with the
Like,
new
like Rush,
Cinder Hulk, yeah.
it's like Frozen Heart and Cinder Hulk, and I've only seen him play it like once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like crushed people in pro play with it, so I don't know. Maybe that's a better build. We'll
Possibly. I
see
mean,
what this guy builds
with
because
the new
who
Cinder
knows? I'm not
Hulk,
an indie player.
definitely. Yeah, so let's do a quick rundown here with our time remaining. We have in the top lane, I'm guessing Riven. That's still going to be a Riven. Yeah, it's going to be
I'm
Riven.
pretty sure Pone's
Pone's,
playing mid,
yeah,
so.
Pone's going mid. So Riven versus Garen. We talked about this a little bit. So Garen, we said, needs to play a little bit more passive the early lanes because we've said it before. Like Riven needs those kills. Riven
Facing a Riven early game, basically all you have to do is like survive for like level 1 and 2 all-ins, and you're probably fine.
well, level 6 is
Riven,
like her other power spike.
Yeah,
You have to be careful
good,
of.
but I mean, most people spike at level 6, so that's kind of pretty similar. But like Riven's level 1 and 2 are just like heads and tails over everybody else. But if he survives that fine, he's probably gonna do okay in the lane, I think.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, here, let me
Apparently
bump
I'm
up
quiet.
yeah, I can bump that up a little bit on my end. That should be better now.
Peoples.
Alright, there we go. So, mid lane then, Victor versus Kennen. Now, Pone, I think, is traditionally a top lane player, so he's just kind of taking his picks and moving it to mid lane.
I know he's been trying to get more into mid lately.
Yeah.
Actually, he's actually been playing a lot of Victor lately, so
Okay.
that should be interesting. But I know Zed Mastermind plays a lot of Victor.
And Zed.
Yeah, and Zed. Well, actually, he doesn't actually play that much Zed.
Well, that's just a
For the name.
letdown.
It really is. So our takeaway from this is we're disappointed he doesn't play more Zed. Also, I don't know. Rash should be interesting. It's an interesting matchup that I really have rarely played because so few people actually play either Kennen or Victor.
Well,
So-
Victor's a lot more common nowadays.
Relatively speaking, yeah. He's still not very high pick rate even then, but yeah. I don't know. The level 6 all in is level 6 burst is definitely stronger from Victor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like the thing, he's got more of a poke advantage. The thing, like, what makes Kennen strong in the top lane is his range advantage and ability
For most
to impact
melees,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'll still be able to
Victor
impact
can
team
definitely
fights.
play better around the minion line because Kennen's going to be trying to get around the outside of it so he can hit because his Q's a skill shot that stops the person it hits.
Mm-hmm.
Victor don't care at all because none of his skill shots stop when they hit something; they keep going through. So he should be able to trade better, presumably. But the Kennen does also bring a lot of team fight control as a result. Not that Victor's by any means shabby in a team fight. Victor's quite strong in a team fight. But he doesn't bring the same team fight CC.
Yeah, it's not the same sort of thing. Victor, he's able to put down a lot of AoE damage and burst out a target later on, whereas Kennen's really looking to just provide CC.
A lot of
for
a huge area of zone control CC.
Yeah, zone control is a big thing. But like we're looking at the two teams, and like I don't like if you judge it just on champions, I probably wouldn't give it to the. There we go. I wouldn't give it
the ringers.
Yeah, Jesus, I thought I had this all set up here. There we go. I wouldn't give it to the blue team. Just because their team is really squishy and it relies a lot on initiation, but because
very
these
squishy.
Yeah, but because these guys know what they're doing, know how to set up fiddlesticks initiation with the Kennen where you're waiting for that flash.
Yeah, the Wombo is going to be very real.
Yeah, they have to play around that. So from the perspective of the red team, they need to try to disrupt them before they have that chance. Because, you look at all their champions, Fiddlesticks before he gets his Hourglass and Kennen before he gets his Hourglass are very squishy, and Ashe is fairly immobile for, especially when you got a Leona on your team. DJ Sona, no, just Sona is very squishy as well, and Riven, same sort of deal. So they really need to be working on their warding game. It's going to be really important.
If red gets ahead, they can actually cause a lot of problems for blue team, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if blue gets behind, it's going to be really hard for
Red's
them
got
to
a
make it
tank line
back.
that blue can't just blow up.
They're
going to be in trouble. Like,
yeah.
Blue's not going to be really hurting for damage too badly. Like, Lucian Victor's still going to do plenty. Garen's going to do a decent bit. Same with Udyr. And if Udyr and Garen and Leona will get to the point where they don't get obliterated by the Riven and the Fiddlesticks and the Kennen Wombo, then it's going to be a bad time for Ashe.
Yeah. So, yeah, bottom lane matchup here: Lucian and Leona versus Sona and Ashe. In the first couple levels, this really favors Ashe and Sona. They have a lot of poke, and
You got a huge range advantage too. Like Ashe
yeah,
Revolution is massive. Like it's what is that? 125
it's
range, I think.
well, Ashe is 600.
She's 600 or 625. I can never remember.
600.
Okay, so she got 100 range on Lucian. That's still pretty significant.
Yeah.
So presumably he plays that right. That's really a very big advantage.
Yeah, they have to really
And
wait.
Sona's just got dumb poke at level 1.
Yeah, well, there's two ways they can really do that. They can go just like cheese level 1, wait in the bush, flash Leona onto Sona to try to get a kill, since she's just so goddamn squishy. But other than that, they really have to wait until level 3 at least to make a play.
I mean, theoretically, Leona beats Sona because Leona hard engages really well and Sona has problems.
Yeah.
She gets a hard engage and she dies immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But Sona is also going to do a lot of poke damage, and everybody and the brother knows that Daze builds full AP Sona and builds and does all of the damage. So it might be a bad day for Leona if she gets poked down at all before she can engage.
So
she can, come to get lane and immediately engage is probably
you don't want to, like, even if you may have the extra Targon stacked, it's better just to kind of just wait back.
Yeah, you definitely have to respect the Sona poke a lot.
The poke isn't worth it.
Not at all.
Alright, get everyone organized here. Yeah, no, that's not right. There we go. Alright. I feel like I've just been, like, in spectator the whole freaking day. Alright, we are in the game here. Hopefully there's no pauses, but if there are, you know, anyone in game, if you're watching this right now, it is a tournament draft, so if you need to, just slash pause.
Draft?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see the notification in chat saying it's tournament draft. It usually does.
Hmm.
Here's hoping it actually is, because that'd be really awkward.
Yeah, I swear I set it up to be, but I have known to, you know, mess it up a few times.
Yeah.
But I know it's usually blind picked in, and I can immediately see that I screwed
You
up.
just blind pick me recognize that very quickly.
Yeah. Alright, so
you're not that dumb.
starting items here. Garen top lane, that's a perfect start against a Riven.
Mr. Riven, that's perfect start for pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
Armor and health, and just kind of sit there and sustain through her early cheese.
Yeah,
Because that's really all you have to do against Riven. Not let her get ahead.
everything's pretty normal here, nothing out of the ordinary.
Pretty much.
I would like to see, like, the blue side bottom lane more involved with defensive warding instead of just sitting at tower.
Leaving themselves really open if red wasn't doing anything right now and was like moving to invade like Krugs or red.
Yeah, that's
like right now
a big
they're
if.
wide open for that.
Mm-hmm. And Victor in the top lane,
except for the part where
in the mid lane. I mean, you only want to just. Oh, she just leveled up E. Okay.
Starting on E and on Ashe. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
When you know you have
gold.
it does, but when you know you have that advantage at level 1, why would you sacrifice that for, you know?
Yeah.
It's fine when you want to be more passive, but oh, they're just letting they're just letting Udyr go at it.
Red.
Whoa. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so
I guess that's okay. I don't know. Usually I like seeing
Krugs
Trevor's
is
getting a good leash. But
yeah. I mean, if you're not too confident, it's always fine to start on the side your bottom lane is to get a better leash.
Yeah, it's always safe.
I
don't know. Udyr's pretty attack speed right now. Like I wouldn't mind seeing him start Krugs, honestly, even though it is top side. Like have just Garen like give him an auto attack or two and then peace out. That probably would have been better.
Than just starting red.
Is an okay start for some camps. Like I mean, you should never start blue really right now.
Yeah.
But red's an okay start because it does give you health.
You can't do anything level 1 when you're Leona here. You took way too much poke and sacrificed. You're gonna have to wait and chug a whole lot of potions that you wouldn't have to otherwise. But what you saw like before there, Sona was standing in between the minions. It's a good way to zone out and support when you know you have the lead and you know you can be safe. Like we may see in the next level here. Okay. So that first blood shouldn't have happened.
That's
obviously.
pretty much the kind of thing you really want to avoid against Riven.
Yeah.
You played Missed by Hair, then what?
Okay, good job switching onto your targets. Oh, hit the minion.
Ooh.
That was really close.
Yeah, I think Leona, I mean, since she's blue flash anyway, she should have flashed for the Zenith Blade instead of just throwing it in and hoping you can max range it.
Yeah. So there's
Because
like,
you already had the Udyr there, so you're already kind of committed to going in hard on that.
yeah.
Especially in a lane like this where you really want to try and get ahead if possible so that, you know, you can keep the Sona down and not be able to poke you forever.
Yep, so there's something I noticed from both Udyr and Leona. They hit minions with a critical ability that really needed to land on a champion. So, I mean, either you get really good at targeting champions or you start using your attack champions only key, which by default is, I think, the tilde, but, I mean, I think it's better to move that to a different key. But it makes sure that you're only hitting champions. It has certainly got its uses
where it's very good.
Yeah.
For things like if you're not throwing a Q at somebody, you want to make sure you actually use it, not a midget.
Yeah.
Because that's always awkward when you die and you realize you've done the wrong thing.
Yep. So Riven's coming back to the lane with another 2 longswords just to get the most like snowball-y start out as possible. So I mean, Garen, you really have to respect the hole that you kind of put yourself into here. You just play back, let her push out to your tower. I mean, because like you said,
you're playing Riven early. Like basically, what you should be trying to do is avoid trades at all possible because she's gonna win a trade early.
Yeah.
That's what Riven does. She wins early trades.
And now your flash is down.
Yeah.
And wait, did he just chug all 3 health potions? Yeah. I mean, what you're only missing?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time those are done, you're gonna be more than full, so you're kind of wasting part of those potions.
Generally, when you're popping health potions, you only pop 1 at a time. And then pop them as they finish, because otherwise, if you pop all 3 of them and then say you get powered over, something happens like that, which you just don't see coming. When you're still only ticking on the first one, then you've just wasted 2 health potions and haven't even got healing out of them at all. Okay. They straight up done nothing.
Yeah, Udyr's
decent turn there, but Udyr was a bit over aggressive there for not having his laner be in any position to fight.
Yeah, so a few things about that. Udyr was level 3 to Riven's 5. So I mean, you have to really respect that level change there. And I mean, if you're I didn't know if you were pinging or not. There it is. Okay, but like if your laner's not going to help, you may as well just back out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's one thing to go and try and like relieve some pressure up there. But he all he really needs to do is kind of show and be like, "Hi, I'm Udyr, and I know you're there."
No other way.
That's
the level 6. He's dead.
Very dead. But like he really kept trying to force something there, even though Garen was back under his tower. Like,
yeah.
That was just crazy, really.
Okay. Alright, so blue team going for first dragon here 6 minutes in. They can do that because they didn't see Udyr, but
no, but they were middle 6 in their bot lane pretty far ahead. So.
Yeah. And honestly, they probably didn't need the help of bot lane. Fiddlesticks probably could have just done it himself.
Yeah.
But
they only did force the flash there from Ash, was nice.
Okay. Let's see.
You know, one thing that might have actually been a pretty decent pickup for Leona that I'm just kind of spitballing here, honestly. An early Doran shield. It would have reduced a lot of the poke from the Sona and probably would have made life a lot easier in lane. I mean, it still wouldn't have been easy because it does reduce, what, like 8 damage from every auto attack and single target spell?
Yep.
Something like that?
Yep.
Like that adds up pretty quick when you're getting constantly autoed and queued by a Sona.
So, Lucian, you were playing...
That might not have been a bad pickup.
You were playing really far back there and you didn't have to. Like, yes, it wasn't the best position for Leona to be in, but while they were focusing on her, you were missing out on free auto attacks you could have been getting onto the enemy team. Okay, so CS differences at this point. 20 top lane, even in the jungle, basically. Victor is ahead.
He is. He's actually playing the matchup pretty well. Early on, he had Kennen jumped way low, too. I got like 5 minutes in the game, like Kennen was like a quarter health, while Victor was at like 2/3.
But I mean, there's
He's actually
nothing.
playing the lane pretty well mid,
Yeah.
but the other lanes have not been going so well.
No. But I mean, it's nothing that it can't be. You can't come back from.
No, it's not at that point yet by any means. I mean, the Riven's gonna be a problem, but I mean, an Ashe with 2 kills is, I mean, it's an ADC with 2 kills, but Ashe is one of the less scary AD carries to have ahead because
Her mid game is a lot like Caitlyn. It's very meh. It takes until later on when her crit becomes more meaningful.
Ashe mostly is fun because of the utility she brings with her.
Yeah.
Early is the big thing that makes Ashe a worthwhile pick for AD carry. So, and I mean, her utility doesn't really scale with her having kills by any means.
Okay. So the problem with putting a pink ward down in the brush there is you didn't have control of the lane. So they're instantly going to clear that out once they're able to get there. What you're better off doing is putting that pink ward, if you're thinking maybe counter jungled, at the blue, at least. Because that'll be there for a while. You'll be able to keep vision of that area.
Or in your tribus would probably be solid too, because you are facing a Fiddlesticks and it would not be out of the ordinary for them to try and tower dive you.
Yeah. And there it is.
Right there.
Yep. So now, yeah, but still worth. Oh, nice flash.
Oh, flash by Lucian.
But like the whole time though, he's just playing really far back compared to Leona. So he's
and
not.
here would be the point where I was talking about Fiddlesticks tower diving.
He doesn't have his ult
We're seriously
though.
considering it. He doesn't, but he was still seriously considering it.
Yeah. So like we said in the bot lane, it's something you want to do in any lane against the Fiddlesticks. So mid lane, it's usually good to ward on the other side of the river.
You really want to try and keep wards over the walls.
Yeah. So as your game goes on around
So,
wraiths.
like you put it like kind of at the edge of the wall of the ground. By red
Lucian,
side.
you got to go back here.
Is a really good spot for warding against, well, really anybody, but especially against the middle of somebody, because you can see them when he's running around trying to get in a good ulting position.
Okay. How do you feel about the not Cinderhawk, but
Bomby Cinder.
well, Sunfire Cape on Garen?
I mean, it's alright. I don't know. I still personally think Randuin. I mean, well, I mean, like Randuin is strictly more slot efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunfire does have the advantage of it being much cheaper,
Yeah.
which is pretty significant when you're this far behind. So I don't hate it.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I am not at all a fan of Victor walking down to bot lane and dropping a pink in the enemy's tri-bush.
Yeah,
Not
no.
quite sure
like
why you would
if we
invest in putting a
said,
pink right there.
yeah, we said the other one's gonna be taken out, so that one's
Like
just
that's gonna
going
die
to be-
as soon as blue team.
Yeah, especially if you cleared out a
there's not
ward
even
for
argument,
it.
Is going to die immediately. Okay, there.
Oh, don't turn around.
Don't turn around. Okay, one thing I would have recommended there, just as a Victor thing, you should have dropped your W in that what was once the banana bush, like right in that little corridor, because it does completely block out the corridor, and it would just immediately say, "Just stop, you are not following." I think it was like, I think it might have been on cooldown from earlier, from the link of it, but like that's a really good spot for things like that.
Here for bottom lane, when you see Sona going out that far, and you have an opportunity to engage on Ashe, but I think you're just playing way too scared at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would have been a great time to go in and on Ashe.
Here's the thing to be very aware of
Oh.
when the support roams is be very aware of that the fact that now you're in a 2v1 without the support. And Leona needs to get out of there because it's bad times.
Okay, so as Garen, when you're 0-3 here, you have a couple of different things you can do.
That's a nice turn actually by Victor right there. Not sure it's gonna kill us. No, not quite.
So close.
That was really close though.
One more auto.
Being a really good turn. I mean, it was a pretty good turn, you just didn't have any to kill.
Okay.
That was definitely well played by him for sure.
Okay. But, like, Garen, at this point, you're only hurting yourself by staying in lane against the Riven. So what you can do is try to help out another lane, or just try to get some farm in the jungle while you're waiting for Riven to leave your lane. Because, I mean, you have to try to at least complete one item here, and you're not going to be getting gold if you stay in lane.
Play safe. Grab Krugs if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually most junglers don't usually take Krugs very much. Like, every now and then they will if they're nearby, but like that's not usually part of their kind of core path. Usually they don't actually mind that much if you. I mean, I guess he's considering it right now, but that's certainly a good thing if you're really far behind lanes. Just back off, go take your Krugs.
Yeah, I like Victor upgrading his to MK2 here.
Yeah.
Just so he has the upgraded Q available to give him extra movement speed. Yeah,
in the
which is really important.
He's definitely going to need to be able to can back as fast as possible to get out of primarily cannon and 4-6.
Yeah,
so
really
that's
important.
Definitely a strong pick up there.
Yeah, we have to remember, like, with this comp, if they get ahead early, blue team, it's really easy for them to snowball that. So it's up to the red team to kind of just pump the brakes here and stop the hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
By just playing safe. First and foremost. Okay. So a tip for Leona, like, if you see a ward, there's no reason you shouldn't get it. Just because you have your auto Q auto, it can take out any ward. Well, any regular ward.
Again, pretty well played by Victor there. The problem is he's just facing a very, very scary Riven right then. And so as well as he actually played that fight there, the fact that even though he's doing pretty decently, Garen and Nudy are decidedly not, and the Riven decidedly is, so that's what happens. I'm not sure there's really much better he could have done there, though.
The Victor was picked up first, so...
Yeah. I mean, he's playing the matchup really well. The problem is,
yeah,
across the map, his team's getting far enough behind. There's really not a lot he can do in a lot of fights. Like right then, it's just one of those fights where you're like, well, I played it well, but they have a Fed Riven, so there's really only so much you can do. So I don't know. It's just rough when that happens. You gotta just try and do what you can. Might have been smarter to kite out faster. I don't know. This part because Vector Camera decided I didn't need to see the giant fight up my buff.
No, you didn't.
Clearly not.
Okay. So what blue team is still doing, like, they have an advantage in all the lanes, so they're saying, you know what, hey, there's no reason for us to group when we can keep the lanes down.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, Riven's still able to stay top, still able to push down Garen. Kennen at this point is at least even, if not a little bit up.
He'll be ahead because of
right
dragons and stuff. Yeah, he's ahead about 1.5k. Because he's been getting kills and assists.
Yeah.
Dragon stuff. And, well, the best boss can be from dragons.
Yeah.
One thing actually probably I would think would be smart from Red to do is, since Blue's trying to just stay in lanes, is for Red to get out of the lanes and then start rotating around. So if they had, like, you know, everybody collapse big, they already know that everybody else is trying to stick in lane, so they can all collapse and then try and make something happen there, or something in the ilk.
Yeah.
So that's really, like, your only solid option right now.
Yeah. So as Lucian, when you're behind, getting fully upgraded boots isn't helping you. It's putting you farther behind. Like,
you should never hit boots 2 on an ADC before you finish, like, your BF sword item. Or it's definitely at least the BF sword itself.
Yeah.
At least need that. And especially on Lucian, who doesn't get near as much of attack speed as some other ones do. There's some who like attack speed, like, you know, like Vayne really likes her attack speed. Lucian, less so. I mean, there's some people who build Lucian and they don't even build character Greaves, they build Cecilia.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really the build
I don't know
anymore,
how
but...
that is right now, but
yeah.
for a while it was.
Okay, Leonel, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're not in a happy place.
Legendary. Okay. No, get out. Okay. Alright, so while I like Victor upgrading to the MK2, I don't think he needed to upgrade to the perfect hex score.
I don't like perfect anywhere near this early in the game.
No.
Like, okay, so as some of you may know, I play a lot of Victor. The thing is, like, okay, so tier 1 is mandatory first item. Like, you just have to buy that first. It's just way too good. You get an extra AP ratio. It's really just it clears wave clear time. It's too good to pass up. Second tier, you want early-ish. If you want it before or after NLR, kind of depends on the matchup. This is the kind of thing where it's good before. Your third tier, though, you should always have at least one. Like, you should have at least your first full item done, probably 2. But, like, I'm not a fan of the full item level, like 13 to 15, somewhere in there. Because what you get out of the third one is you get a mini Oriole in your W, which is nice but not huge, and your ult moves a little faster, which again is nice but not huge. And then you get 1 extra AP per level, another 25 AP, and another 150 mana. Can't actually remember the number off the top of my head
250,
now.
I think.
Is it 250?
It's 250 total, I know.
But either way, like, it's not like the stats aren't the biggest thing. They're good, but they're not amazing.
It only becomes efficient like as you level up,
No,
and that
exactly.
extra is.
It's not until your later levels where it becomes really effective when you got that much more levels that the AP level mean more.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of it. So I would rather see him build. Obviously, Zanya's is pretty good because then you can, if you provided you don't get blocked down instantly, you can actually Zanya's a lot of the wombo because it's time. You'll miss most of the cannon ult, you'll miss most of the fiddle ult. If you're lucky, you might dodge the ECA from Ash and this crescendo. And that helps you get super in Ash because armor is awesome. I would have much rather see that be worked on than tier 3 X score.
Garen, you gotta get boots, buddy.
Yeah.
When you got skills that scale off of your base movement speed, you need to get boots. No one should be
scaled up base movement speed.
It's Q. Well, it gives them like percent. It gives you
it's a
per
percent
20%
yeah.
movement speed, so
Yeah.
scaled off of your base.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's not really leaving lane, so I don't.
Not
his lack of
upgraded, but
boots,
you need to have
I think
some
you should
boots.
definitely be trying to get him ASAP. It's gonna be awesome. That wombo again is so gross.
Blue team double kill. Blue
Oh,
team
man.
triple kill. 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, this is going about how we thought it would go,
Team's turret has been destroyed.
but that's okay. Like it's really just to kind of get a learning opportunity to see like what it feels like to play against people who know the position well.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to talk about things that things that they're doing right, but that's why we have another person spectating you to show you what you're doing wrong and what they're doing right.
They're
So you can go back.
to one person instead of us
Yeah.
trying to figure out the whole thing at once.
Yep. So it's gonna be
We are
really
only human
useful.
and we are not that good.
Yeah. There's a reason we're spectating and not playing.
Legendary. Shut down. Blue team double kill.
Win that fight?
Kind of.
Almost. I mean, I think they ended up going even. They ended up going 1-for-1 there. I mean, they also. Oh, they're good. It was actually pretty well played by Red Team there. They didn't really win it because they only got blue team really below on the other two guys.
So that was another ace again.
Yeah. But they did actually play that fight really well. So.
For what they could,
They were
yeah.
just super. For what they could, like, that was pretty close. Like, that was way closer than they had any right to be, honestly.
Yeah.
But that fight had no reason to be anywhere near that close, being an even. I mean, it went even instead of. It was close to being a win.
Okay. So 22 minutes in, 44k to 26k. Like this is
One
just
hit down, one hit him open.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
this is snowballing to its peak. Snowballing team
Yeah.
comp, snowballing items. Oh. Okay.
Prettier, just GC.
If you want, you can pause the game here, guys.
Yeah.
But, oh, okay. We're just gonna go for Baron to end it.
Drop. So that's like the next problem. Yeah.
This is the Baron throw. No, darn it.
No, that's the thing.
Goodbye.
Double kill.
Fair enough, team obliterate people some more.
Yeah. Okay, and this should be the end here. Uh,
Oh, you're not faster, you gotta dodge like beside him and not straight away from it. 'Cause there's no end to that skill shot. It keeps going until it hits you.
yeah. I think you just wanted to give that one dash.
Literally only just goes because really why not?
Yep, and that'll be the
Thought
game
like
here.
Thought like he's gonna change it. So. Might as well try and be annoying.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Legendary.
All right. So that is game one, group one for Battle Arena Smackdown Edition. We'll be right back with some more information in just a sec.